Hey y'all, it's D-Baggage here, and welcome to my first official video on Gran Turismo Sport. We are at Interlagos in GR3 for the 3 billionth time for Daily Race B. I qualified P4 in this race. Interlagos is not one of my stronger tracks, so I struggle a bit around here. I still managed to stay within 0.5 of number 10 on the leaderboard. I turned a 1:31.6. I know I can get more time out of it, but honestly I don't see myself getting it, as I just don't have the time right now. As the race is about to start, we're sandwiched between two Mercedes. The guy in front, Javier Suarez, he and I have had some pretty good races so far, and the Mercedes behind me, driven by the Mexican FT Jordi Mal. First time racing with him, but very solid driver. As we move ahead here, Javier gets a little squiggly there coming out of the last of the Senna S's. Here FT Jordi decides to take it up the inside, which I'm alright with. There's no sense in fighting that, defending it hard. It's the first lap. Settle into a groove and try and overtake him later, as we're right back on him here in a corner, so not really much loss there. This corner here, I do have a tendency to lose a bit of pace. I just can't seem to get it right. Can't seem to keep my speed up through there, keep my momentum. But through here, I'm pretty solid. Right on FT's rear end here. As we come towards the end of the lap here, the final real corner, as we're right on his tail, just trying to stay in that slipstream. Making a long grind up the hill around the corner to the finish line to complete lap 1. Just trying to stay in the slipstream again. It's very important to stay in that magical 1.5 suck zone. As we head down into T1 for the second time, right in the pack. I mean, we're all bunched up here, not too much gap between the 5 of us actually. Things are going to get a little interesting coming into T4, I believe, down here, as I believe it's the Canadian in the Porsche. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's the Brazilian in the Porsche. Goes wide and gets a half-second penalty. Barely misses contact with FT there, and then just comes super slow right into it, and that's my error there. I shouldn't have hit him. Didn't really make too much of a mistake, but he goes deep and wide into the corner. But with the quick left-hander, there's no way I can maneuver back, so I just tuck in behind him and wait for him to make a mistake. He seems pretty sloppy. I could have went for a move there, but that would have been the dive bomb of the century, so we're not going to do that. So I just stick behind here and wait for him, maybe try and overtake him here on the hill coming up. Just trying to stay in the slipstream a bit here. He will be serving a penalty, so there's no sense in trying to go super aggressive here, because with that half-second penalty, I will most likely gain it back once he slows down here. Almost overshot that corner. Hooked it up really nicely here. Fell a little bit further behind, but we're still right there. And then he moves over to the left, and I get the slipstream, double slipstream of Javier and FT in front there. And just like that, we're back into P4. This was one of the better races I've had so far in Interlagos this week. Like I said before, it's not my best track, so if I can manage to keep it on the track and gain a couple positions, I'll take that any day. You see here, again, losing pace to the guys in front of that corner. I just could not get that corner right. Sticking right in the slipstream of FT already here. As the guy in first, the Canadian, just completely sends it off the track into the barrier down there. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe he missed his braking point. I don't know, but that's another easy place gained for me. As the two Mercedes are battling it out up here. As we see there, I set the fastest time with a 1:31.9 there. Definitely thanks to the slipstream. That helps big time around here. That was not a perfect lap by any means. The two Mercedes just going side by side here. I try to leave a little bit of space just in case they take each other out, but these guys were pretty clean. They did pretty well. FT was a little slow out of that corner. I accidentally hit him. No worries. Still clean racing happening. As we come into the hairpin here, I just completely miss a braking point and bump him wide. Gave him the place, and the Brazilian just kind of sent it up the inside of me. I made a big save there. I went for a space that really wasn't there. As you'll see, he comes back for a pretty dirty move towards the end of the race that was honestly unexpected in this guy. I don't know if he was just pissed off because he bottled it earlier. I don't know, but he was really aggressive from this part on. As you see, I fall almost a second down, still in the slipstream, but with the short straight here, it's honestly not helping me that much. As I come into T1, these guys are all battling here, and this is where this corner coming up here at the end of the straightaway is where you'll see the Brazilian just completely lose his mind. The two Mercedes, actually him and Javier, decide to go at it. I don't know if he missed his braking point or what, but they just sent themselves off. I mean, easy 2 places gained, and FT Turismo started P5, and he is in P1 now. I mean, it just shows to be clean and to be smooth and patient can really pay off in these races. It's very easy to see you're starting, P4 and then immediately lose a place and go to P5. It's like, well, damn, my race is over. But really, it's not. I mean, anything can happen, especially in these short races. People are have a likely to be more aggressive, and in turn, mistakes can happen. And we come into the last corner, and I get a little sideways there, but very much under control. That's the race. FT, great performance, man. I didn't get a chance to say anything to him at the end of the race. He had left pretty much right after he won, but kudos, man. If you look here, there was only 9 people in the race. We started with 16, and at the beginning of the lobby, everybody just kind of, like, half the people just left, lagged out, whatever. I don't know. But a pretty solid performance here. This was my last race of 2019. I wanted to spend some time with my family here before the New Year's hit, so I decided to take a break pretty early on in the afternoon and call it a year on 2019. 2019 was a great year for me in sim racing. I improved a lot. I started 2019 with a low B rating and barely an S in the sportsmanship rating, and now, as of December 31st, 2019, I'm well into the A+ driver rating, 55,966 to be exact, and as high as you can get, 99 out of 99 in sportsmanship rating, which sportsmanship rating is really not hard to bring up. I really put a lot of time this year into sim racing and improving my skills. The ultimate goal is to be able to compete with the likes of Carl Lam and other GT World finalists. I want to give a big shout out to Super GT and Jimmy Broadbent for sort of inspiring me to start uploading videos and trying to build a following like they do. I saw what they do. Those guys know what they're doing. They're fantastic sim racers, and honestly, pretty solid real life drivers as well. They have a great following, and they're fun to watch, and I thought I should try it. So here we are. I'd also like to give a big thank you to David Perrell of Rinaldi Racing for providing his YouTube videos and with some personal messages on Instagram as well, just helping me get those few tenths where I need them to make me that much faster and improve my racecraft. I can't wait to continue to improve in 2020 and try to become one of the fastest GT3 drivers in GT Sport. Overall, very pleased and can't wait for 2020. If you like the video, like it, subscribe if you want. Not required, but it's an option. It's there. If you want to, do it. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next one.